One thing in fan media, you can't really talk about death. I mean, you can show it, but at the same time, every time you do it, it sort of kind of falls apart. One of the biggest examples, Big Hero 6, one side characters dies, the main characters can't really face of the character's own death. But saying death, and you're actually allowed to say the word death in theaters, but the only problem is the writers just sort of didn't want to. I feel they couldn't say it because it feels kind of upset the audience. But the only problem is, it sounds sort of ridiculous, and one of the characters says, "Gone," a very emotional scene. In fact, you can actually make fun of that because it's just sort of out of pocket in other words. In fact, this is not the only one. In not specifically just Disney, all the different companies does the same thing. Some of them just doesn't know how to say it or wants to say it or even go in an interpretation of their own death. Ironically, maybe because I was sort of a 90s kid, and 90s entertainment, especially 80s and 90s, they did not give a crap. They just died left and right and just so, they died. I mean, that's the thing. Especially now, it's sort of rare to see any show tackle or just say, yeah, they're dead. Except for Villainous. It's one of those shows that you have to admit a lot of characters do die, unironically, funny, or off screen. Yeah, I'm wondering, can I make a top 5 or top 10 sort of death, but not death, we're not really sure, type of videos? In a way, yes, I can. In fact, I can make probably 15 if I wanted to, but I decided to make it 5 just because I want to talk more and to specifically focus on the character. It should have, could have, maybe died, we just don't know. Before I get started, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories. If I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. And of course, you like how it's going, you like to support my channel, just put like, comment, and subscribe. That's all you need to do. One of the things really help my channel, especially I'm a very small channel. I'm right now at 800 some. I get close to 900, but of course, my main goal is going to 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, I am getting really close. Thanks to all my new subscribers, to people who comment and put a like. I am completely thankful you do this every single time. Thank you. But besides that, let's start off top 5 villainous, sort of not really could have dead characters and villainous. And I think the first one could be a perfect example of this sort of phrasing, especially Ringworm. It's a hero that you kind of don't remember because how fast he went in and went out in the first, well, not first, second episode of Villainous. That he was sort of attacking Dementia Dr. Fu in 505 of his own city, but he's sort of an asshole in a way, and Dr. Flood sort of finished him off and teleporting the place he needs to the ogres. And the ogres, last time you saw him, he was served a silver platter so all the ogres can actually eat him. And that's all you actually see. You don't see the actually defeat, eating, or ripping apart, or these, I give it a sort of interpretation what happened to Ringworm. The only thing you know, he may be gaining that sort of question, did he survive? And that's sort of the playfulness of villainous, that like some characters die, but at the same time leave that sort of open-ended. Sort of really your interpretation that he survived. Or he died, or he just run away, he's stuck in the forest and figuring out how to get out. I mean, there are different ways to interpret that specific death scene. But it's one of those things that's sort of unique from villainous. Of course, have this question, do you care about Ringworm to actually survive it or not really? Tell me down below, let me know. Let's talk about the second sort of dead scene, or not really dead character in this franchise. And I want to go focus on Callan. If you don't know who he is, he's a specific character only exclusive to the book of the Harmless Book of Black Cat, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Now, who is Callan? Is a type of character who, from their original team of people with no hats, that actually went inside of Black Cat's mansion to look information to stop Black Cat. But ironically, Black Cat actually caught him specifically on his own room. But Black Cat had a book in his hand, and he decided to make Callan stuck inside his own book. Now he basically being tortured by Black Cat inside the own book. And that book, Callan basically dies multiple times. I mean, this guy goes to the ringer. He was stabbed, poisoned, burned, run over. You mentioning he has been done it. And you feel sad for the character, but of course, in the final book, he kind of did escape, but it's sort of kind of maybe your own interpretation, but you don't know this is a trick from Black Cat keep torturing of Callan, or maybe he did escape, or someone actually did help him outside the book, because how you rip the book, someone is reading the book besides the audience who helping Callan to escape off the book. The very end, that question, who's the one who saved Callan, or didn't I save Callan? Maybe it was actually Black Cat keep torturing the guy. In fact, I saw many death scenes of that book. I made a top 5 death scene from Callan, and I made a video for a long time ago. It's on my channel, specifically on my playlist, if you want to actually see it. But besides that, let's talk about the third sort of could be dead character, could be not a dead character of villainous, specifically the orphan children. Now, who is the orphan children? It's come out one of the episodes of Villainous. There's a bunch of kids who actually are dead, grouped together in a mansion, but ironically, they're sort of adopted by Mother Poltergeist, who has her protection of the orphan children. But she's not really allowed there to be there because she's doing job for Black Cat because she made a sort of deal. But that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is, now the orphan children is sort of your interpretation how each character actually dies. The fact, the only way you find out is the fact if you look all the photos of each character who needs to be alive. But you also have two sides of that photo. The first photo is basically you see one of them is alive, but you see them after they dead, but you have to reinterpret how they died. And it's one of the few characters on this list that you have to admit, yeah, they're dead, but at the same time, it's kind of hilarious how they die. Some of them very cruel, some of them you're just wondering how that actually happened. Even they show you some images just wondering, yeah, how this boulder crushed this kid, but yet he's still only like half crushed or something like that. Something like a weird, your own interpretation. And that's what sort of make it interesting, this orphan children, how each one died. I thought he built the lore even more in Villainous, especially you find out some of the photos, Black Cat sort of reappear actually in their own death scene of their own photo. You just don't know how it actually happened. It just reinterpreted your own way. And that's what makes it sort of unique in this type of characters. Of course, I did a video specifically of the orphan children, how each one of them died one by one in my own interpretation. If you want to see that video, it's on my playlist on Cartoon Theories. Usually you find the tag, the top right here, or maybe on the playlist on my own channel, if you actually want to see that video. But besides that, let's talk about the fourth, sure but not sure this character actually is dead. And that's probably be Porcini. If you never heard of this character or what actually happened to him, now Porcini actually is come from the nemesis called High Risk. And he's basically one of the more powerful dons and villainous. He's basically number 2 of the top 4 or top 5 or something like that. But the reason why he sort of died is because he sort of betrayed Black Cat's own contract, helping the other heroes in portraying his own kind of villainous. Because of this, Black Cat did not like this, so he actually sort of summoned a general to actually get rid of him. And when we get rid of him, I mean massacre him, because this execution type of creature just went in and flattened him. I mean, so powerful, he ripped the combat in half, just eliminate Porcini. And it's one of those characters is legitimately 100% sure is dead. And it's one of those sort of shocking. You also understand why he did it. But what the reason why he betrayed the contract of Black Cat is because his own common sense, all these his respective, is now the villainy is sort of dying slowly, and he realized heroes are becoming the superstars of this new universe, and he want to become a hero so he catch some money. He also keep his own power. This is sort of the logic he come up with why he decided to portray all the other villains to help the heroes, so he be partner, he also become a hero. Of course, you read the comic, that went completely bad for him because he became sausages, in other words. But one of those things, instead of kind of help to build the world, he also realized never portray Black Cat. But besides that, let's talk about our final victim of this top 5 will be Cricket. If you never heard of Cricket, it's one of those characters come out on another miniseries called Little Hero from Sunblast, that Cricket is sort of a hero with sort of hunted down Sunblast, something like a predator hunted his own victim. But so interesting about actually Cricket, we don't know much about him, but we do know he used to be good set of friends with Sunblast. But things changed. Now he had to hunt him down, and this character, let's face it, he was very likable. He was that badass. In fact, how to describe his special abilities is sort of portraying Iron Man and Ant-Man mixed together. And think about that, but interesting enough, this guy sort of died off screen. At least that's how we choose to interpret, because later on in the comic, Sunblast meet one of his old enemies called Rex, and Rex says, "Oh, Cricket died." And Sunblast respond, "How?" He says, "Whoever discovered the villain city down the town never make it out, because no one supposed to know actually exists, only villains. And Cricket is a hero, so it's kind of obvious he'd be eliminated." But interestingly enough, we don't know this is true or this is false, because this is Rex. Rex is sort of very pity type of character who does anything he can to hurt Sunblast. So we don't know this character is dead or alive. It's something like live your own imagination. But yet, it's one of you wondering that Cricket's still alive, because he is a very good character. It's sort of sad if does did end his own life in the underground villain city. But it's one of those things that should make you wonder. In fact, each single character who actually dies actually helps the whole world of villainous seems more bigger, more interesting, tells something very interesting about the world. But besides that, that's only the 5 characters I want to talk about, at least for right now. Depends how many people like this video. People like it, I may have volume 2 later on in the future. But for right now, that's all I can say. And just say thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.